morning, all the parents over here. Thank you for joining us today, on this important occasion. So, we all know that PSIE science exam is really approaching, right? So, I'm very delighted to have this opportunity to connect with everyone over here and to discuss why we are attending this webinar is so crucial for your child's success today, right? So the PSIE is like less than 1 month away from now. Okay, so I know most of you are actually very anxious, very concerned, okay, when it comes to whether your child is able to do well for their science exam. Okay, so today's webinar, it will be a 2 hour session. So I hope after today's webinar, it will equip you with valuable insights. And I hope I can, eventually teach your child some of the strategies that might be helpful and, and to boost their confidence in some ways. All right. So I'm able to see the chats over here. So I want to maybe everyone you can text, chat in the chat now to make sure you guys are able to chat, you are able to express yourself. Okay. Hi, good morning everyone, all the parents, all the children over here. So meanwhile, you can also let me know, right? How many of you are actually parents or how many of you are over here are actually children? Okay. Yeah. Hi, morning, Chase. Jace, is it Jace? Hi, good morning, good morning. Okay, right. So, yes. So also meanwhile, let me know, right, if your child is doing P5 or P6 this year. Hi, Vince. Yes. Hi, Serene. Yes. P5. Okay. How many of you are actually P6 parents over here today? Actually, most of you are. I think around 90% of you are having P6 child. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. All right. So I will make sure these 2 hours, okay, is worth your time. Okay. So throughout these 2 hour section, we are going to learn some of the important strategies that is going to help your child for that open-ended. Right. So if let's say your child is available, so I want you to go to their room, okay, and pull them out together with you. All right. So okay, right. So this is I.R.I.S over here. I'm the academic director of science at Activate Learning. Being the former PSIE marker for the past few years, I actually discovered that local students are actually lacking in several skills when it comes to open-ended. Okay, so later throughout this webinar, I'm going to share with you guys, okay, some of the mindset of examiners and also some of the common marking scheme that your child can apply for their open-ended. Right? So I just want everyone over here, okay? Today I will promise to do my very best to answer all the questions you may have for me. So most importantly, I need all the parents and even children over here, okay? You need to first show me, okay? Give me 100% participation. Please don't be shy, okay? Because I'm not able to see your face, okay? You are the only one able to see my face. So, okay, give me 100% participation and have your child sit next to so that we can eventually have a call between the parents and children later. Okay. So throughout these 2 hours, you can also discover some of the methods which may eventually work for your child. All right. So those of you who are willing to commit with me for these 2 hours, can you put a me over there? All right. Okay, so everyone, whoever is ready to commit with me for these 2 hours to learn some of the strategies, okay, for your child, put a me, okay, over there, or maybe Excel. Okay, I'm going to score. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. All the parents over here. Okay, good. So meanwhile, before we move on, right, I want everyone, okay, to join us at the Telegram helpline. So what is this Telegram helpline? So especially this time, okay, where exams is around the corner, okay, where eventually the many students are actually what they have tons of homework to do. So if let's say your child is having any problem, any questions from school or whichever, we can eventually help your child in answering the questions. It can be school homework, it can be tuition work or whichever. Okay, welcome to send us in this Telegram helpline. We will be there to assist you. All right. So we will give you some of the to clarify all the misconception your child may have. Okay, so it's instant help and support for your child. Okay, so do give us a few hours. We'll eventually get back to you with all the strategies and the method. All right. So good things are meant to share. All right. So I want everyone to also bring along a friend to join us this morning. Okay, let's make it a very fun and interactive session. Sometimes, right, studying with friends, or even parents and children, when you study together, right, okay, it can be much more enjoyable than studying alone. Because when you are, having a friend or, having a parent or your child with you, right, then you can have some mini competition. Okay, then from there you can also observe, right, how your child eventually learn. Okay, what kind of methods do they learn better, right? Then remember to stay tuned till the end because I'm going to give out a lot of free bonuses. This only to the webinar parents who attend today's webinar. And then we eventually leave all the best discounts till the end. As part of the bonus incentive, all right, by attending today's webinar, you are going to already receive the e-booklet on water cycle. Okay, so in this water cycle e-booklet, right, eventually I already show you all the steps, okay, to score full marks for your water cycle topic. Okay, you can eventually score very well with all the template, with all the default scientific phrases to use. All right, so sit back, okay, everyone. So thank you for all the participation so far you have, shown me. So now we move on to this, okay? Many of the P6 parents today, am I right? Okay, yes. So as a PSLE science parent, if you do not know the marking scheme behind the science exam, okay, what will happen to you? First, when you do not know the marking scheme, eventually you are just following blindly to the exam papers, to the all those answer key. Am I right? And then for those of the parents, if let's say you are slightly more familiar with science content, right, then you would know that actually some of the exam papers, their answer key is not reliable. It's either too brief, okay, or it's not fully elaborated. Okay, so this is actually very different from what the PSI markers, okay, the PSI marking scheme. Okay, so later I'm going to run through this with you. Then, okay, some of the parents over here, you let me know whether you are one of them. Okay, some of the parents will tell me things like, because you're actually not very certain on how to teach your child science. So when you do not know how to teach your child science, you leave them to the tutors or even eventually or the schools. Okay, do you think it worked that way? No, because eventually they only see your child for a few hours. Okay, tuition is even worse because they are only going to see the tutor for maybe 2 hours. Okay, provided our financial is able to cope with it. Yes. Okay, so now I'm going to help you guys. Okay, so please get your child to stay with us. Okay, and together we are going to move on to the important segment. Okay, Hazel, you want to try your sound system? It seems like it's very soft at your end, right? So for any of the parents, right, if let's say you have any concern, okay, or anything, right, okay, so not to worry, just text in the chat. My colleagues will be there to assist you, right? So parents, okay, let's move on to some discussions. How many of the parents over here? Oh, it's actually quite soft, is it? Is it something to do with my side? Okay, wait, yeah, it's already full. All right. So guys, let's continue with this. So can you help me check my volume? Is that okay? Volume is low. Oh, all right. Let me see. Anything I should do on my side? Okay, how soft it is. Okay. So can you hear me now? Okay, okay. SS is okay for your side, is it? How about the rest of you? John, my mic volume. That's a good one. Okay, hold on. My mic volume. Still soft, is it? Okay, give me a while, huh? Jace, yours is okay, is it? Okay. You guys let Vince is okay also? Oh, all right. Okay, so that means it's 50-50, right? So that means okay, I'll try my best to shout, okay? Yeah. Okay, so you guys let me know, right? How many of you are actually having this thoughts right at the moment? Okay, you press me a one if you belong to this category. Is my volume now okay for everyone? Okay, I'm actually trying to increase my volume now. Is my volume okay right now, everyone? Okay, can thank you so much. Okay, so press the number one if you belong to this category. For those parents, right, how many of you actually looking out for keywords tested in PSLE? Now you are trying to go and shop all the popular, okay, or maybe at the start of the year, okay, you guys go and shop popular, go and buy this and that, just try to find the scientific phrases. Okay, so good. Okay, you are normal. Okay, you are very common. Okay, now number two, how many of you actually force your child to study or memorize tons of answer key? Okay, but yet they are still scoring zero for the open-ended. Any one of you? Hey, a boy, open-ended, how come the others can score so well? Okay, you go and I throw you this answer key. Please go and memorize the whole thing. Okay, any of you press the number two if you belong to this category. All right. Then how many of you, right? Okay, your child has been scoring very well in their MCQ. Okay, so you are telling me things like, teacher Iris, for my child to score full marks or even high marks in MCQ, how come my child is still not able to score or even pass their open-ended? So funny, right? Because when you can score well for MCQ, it shows that you have the content knowledge. But why? Why can't my child score or pass the open-ended? Okay, so now a lot of question mark in you, right? Okay, so not to worry, okay, if you belong to one, two, or three, okay, it's very common, okay, just stay put, okay, spend your 2 hours with me looking at my face, okay, and I'll help you guys to overcome all this, all right? So my volume is okay so far, ladies and gentlemen? Can I? Okay, can. Well done. Okay, so for those of you who still think it's very soft, right? Okay, you let me know. This is okay, right? Okay, can. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so meanwhile, before we move on, right? Okay, I kind of to like go through a lot of like mindset with everyone because right last time when I have to conduct parent teacher meeting, I actually spoke to many of the parents. They will tell me a lot of things. Okay, so that's why I actually consolidated all of them. Some of the parents will tell me things like, "Hey, teacher I.R.I.S, my child writes very long answer, for open-ended. I'm impressed, they can write so long, but eventually they still get zero. So why is that possible? Okay, so later I'm going to show you, okay, by writing a long sentence, right, does not secure your full marks. Okay, in fact, you're exposing yourself to more mistakes. Okay, so some of the parents will tell me things like, oh, they write very short because their child will assume that the other know the answer. So they just touch a little, elaborate a little, and that's it. And expect the examiners to go and assume everything. Okay, so all this is unacceptable. All right. So let's move on to the AL system first. Okay, because for those PSLE students, this one is crucial. Please take a look. Okay. First of all, AL system, we all know that this is an achievement level. So it's from AL1 to AL8. Apparently, the lower the AL, the better the performance. Okay, it's not to accumulate the points. So I want everyone to think about it. Okay, if a student gets 3 subjects of 74, okay, and 1 subject of 62, he or she will definitely already getting 21. So for your information, 21 marks, right, or 21 points, right, he or she will be given a choice to go either normal stream or express stream. Okay, so this sounds rather scary, right? Okay, but what's the nightmare? Some of you over here, okay, you are telling me things like, hey, teacher Iris, oh my god, okay, my child is not even getting 74. Okay, so this is where you start sweating already, right? Okay, because this is where you are very anxious. Okay, I know actually quite a bit of the students that are still falling below this range. Okay, which eventually there is a high chance for your child to get into normal stream. Okay, so don't worry, I'll be here to assist you. Okay, so now with the new AR system, right, I just want to show all the parents over here. With the new AR system, every mark matters. All right, so if a child, I give you another scenario, if a child score 1 mark lesser, their band will go down by 1 grade. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so okay, this one is AL12. Okay, so AL12, this child, right, if let's say scoring 84 for the subjects, okay, he or she will be getting 12 points. 12 points, right? For those students who are aiming to get into IP school, right? Okay, unfortunately, very low chance you will be able to get in. Okay, because most of the IP school they need around 8 or 9. Okay, so but if let's say another child score 1 mark lesser for each subject, ding, okay, then he or she will be getting a total of 8 points. So these 8 points, right, now she is entitled to get into IP stream. So this is what I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, sometimes, right, just a 1 mark, right, it can make such a huge difference. Okay, so this is where we have to help constantly remind our kids that every 1 mark matters. Okay, so doesn't mean you write long, right? It can secure your high marks. Actually, no. Okay, it's actually disadvantage for your child to write so long. Okay, exposing themselves more. Okay, so this is from a rough idea on IP school, some of the cut-off points. All right. All right. So for this, okay, from the past 15 years of teaching science, in schools and private sectors, right? I actually know that most of the parents and students pin high hope in their MCQ. Let me know whether you are one of them. Okay, if you seriously, okay, you remember telling your child this, a boy, please, okay, make sure your MCQ you have to score as high because your over and that is going to pull you down. If you said this before, put me a yes over here. Okay, okay. So if you are some of the special or unique parent, okay, you can also let me know. You put a no over there. All right. I understand. Okay. But I have to run through with you guys. Never pin all your hope in MCQ. Okay. Why? Because last time, right, when I teach in school, for certain years, right, for those students who just pin all their hope in MCQ, right, eventually sometimes right after PSLE, after they check answers with their friends, right, they will eventually burst into tears. Okay, why? Because MCQ, if they pin all the hope, MCQ are meant to be tricky. Okay, because seriously, examiners know that MCQ tends to be easier. So that's why they will put in the Mazel. Can my colleagues help Mazel with this for the volume? Yeah, because I think my side is already the maximum as well. Okay, can my colleagues help Mazel? All right. Okay. So for those students, right, we just pin all their hope in MCQ, right? Eventually, what will happen? If any questions, right, okay, they are tricky or whichever, right, then they will eventually lose the marks. Later, I'm going to show you the MCQ, which are meant to be tricky. Okay. So that's what I want to show you guys. In fact, most of the students will tell you this. They will place all their emphasis on open-ended because after drilling from me, they realized that open-ended is actually a way to secure their marks safely. All right. Okay, so let's go through these questions together. Four classmates visited a rotting log habitat. They made the following observations. Okay, Sarah, beetles and woodlice tend to avoid sunlight. Naomi, there is sunlight in a rotting log habitat as there is a fern growing, growing. Stanley, mushroom need light to carry out photosynthesis to make food. Eugene, the small birds are able to catch earthworm from the soil. Okay, so I give y'all 30 seconds. Okay, y'all can enjoy the music while thinking of the answers. Wow, Mandy, you are so fast. Okay. Some of you tell me four. Okay, some of you tell me three. Most of you tell me three. Some of you tell me one. Okay, you don't have to send me in private. You can send it in public. Okay. Okay. Good job, parents. Okay, let's try. So first of all, this is eventually how I drill all my students every time. Even for MCQ, right, they have to present to the whole class why each option is correct or wrong. They have to give me supporting evidence. Okay. So now let's go take a look at Sarah. Beetles and woodlice tend to avoid sunlight. For those of us who learn adaptation or environment, we know that they like or prefer to live in dark places. Okay, so dun 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 dun. Okay, yes, this is true because they avoid sunlight. Why? Because when it's bright, tend to have a higher chance that there is high temperature. Most probably is during the daytime. Okay, so now only answer left with 1, 3, or 4. Now next one. Now me. They say this one there is a fun. Okay, so Do you think it's essential? Yes, because fern is not fungi. Okay, they are plants, so they need sunlight to make food. So now me is correct right now. Only left with 3 or 4. Now how come so many of you start changing answers already? Okay, can. Good. Now, Stanley, mushroom need light to carry out photosynthesis. It's not fair. That's not most of you tell me answer 3. Okay, so yes, Stanley. Okay, because mushroom is a fungi, they cannot make food on their own. Okay. Now, Eugene says the small birds are able to catch earthworm from the soil. Okay, so you see, generally you all can scroll up and see around 90 something percent of you, right, give me answer 3 during the first glance. Okay, so you see, if let's say this come out in PSLE, I don't think our child, our kids, right, will be so, will be so meticulous to go and check through their answer and then realize that they actually made the mistakes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Well done. So answer is 4. Okay. So this is what I mean. Sometimes for MCQ options, they are so close. Okay, that you cannot really distinguish whether they are true or false. Okay. Never mind. I will have more examples coming up. For those of you who cheated, okay, congratulations, okay, for getting the answer correct. Okay, let's go through one more. This one, no more changing answer. Okay, Kylie poured 100 cm cube of water into a 500 cm cube of flask and sealed it as shown in the diagram. She then used the attached pump to draw out 150 cm cube of air from the container. Okay, so every time when we are given questions like this, parents, you can start asking your child to infer the hidden meanings. This is an important skills. Okay, your child needs to learn how to infer those hidden meanings from this question. Okay, later I'm going to show you how inferencing is very important. Okay, so what's the question? Okay, which of these statements is true of the setup at the end of activity? Okay, so now enjoy the music and give me the answer. Today what happened? Today you all discussed earlier on before my section, is it? You all discussed with each other to give me the same answer throughout, is it? Okay, let's go through this together. Okay, so first of all, this is about volume. Okay, now you see start having different parents giving answers already. Okay, now for 100 cm cube of water. So first of all, what do we need to know from this? Ask your child should be able to express all this. Okay, especially when you ask them to tell you MCQ. Don't just mark their answer. I want you to check their thought process. That is more effective. Okay, stopper actually helps to prevent no air from escaping. They also prevent any air from coming in. Okay, to make sure it's a fair test. Next, 500 cm cube of flask, it shows the total capacity. Okay, the total volume. So once again, parents, you all have to write down somewhere because I'm going through a lot of common mistakes made by students. Okay, many of the students until now they don't know the difference between mass and volume, although it's a P4 topic. Okay, so how do you know its volume? Through the SI unit of cm cube. Okay, so now we know the volume is 500 cm cube. Now they draw out 150 cm cube. So when you draw out the air, okay, what happened? Okay, hold on. So now you also need to know that 100 cm cube of water has definite volume. Okay, when they have definite volume means they cannot be compressed. Then, now, what is the total capacity of air? The space occupied by the air is only how much? Okay, so 500 minus 150 to give you how much? 350. Okay, so 350. Yeah. So now the space for air, we have to take note, okay? Because it's 100 cm cube of water. Water has definite volume. So the total amount of space inside is 400. Okay, 400. Now, even though you draw out these amounts of air, okay, but how much space available for the air? So this is where you guys have to know. Air has no definite volume, okay? They can be compressed. So when they are given more space, they will eventually occupy the whole of the space, which is 400. Okay, so let's go through the answers. Water level will increase. This is wrong because water has definite volume. Okay, 250 cm3 of air is left. No, because they are available space of 100. So eventually they will occupy all the space. Some water took the space of the air that was drawn out. No, because liquid has definite volume. Okay, they will not take the space. Next, the volume of air inside the flask remains the same. Correct. So answer should be number 2. Congratulations on metal. Okay, good. So now I'm moving on to open-ended already, okay? So before we go into actual questions, okay, I want everyone to remember my name. You still remember my name? Okay, I.R.I.S. Okay, I want you to remember my name until eventually your child move on to secondary, university, tertiary, or whichever, okay? Why? Because, okay, usually I will drill my students, okay? So always remember this when you attempt the questions. Okay, let's see, Okay, you can eventually dream of me if you want to, okay? So now let's apply this before our child attempt any of the questions, okay? So why? I stands for inferencing. Okay, so for those of you, I think most of you are P5, P6 parents, right? So when your child move on to P5, P6, right, this is where you will notice, right, the question starts to get more complicated, and start to have cross topics. Okay, so many of the words, right, like example just now, mushroom is just a simple word, correct or not? But most of you actually forget that it's a fungi. So this is where we mean about inference is important. Okay, you don't just treat mushroom as a mushroom. You have to know what is lying behind it. So mushroom is a fungi, and what about fungi? They cannot make its own food. Okay, so inferencing skills is important. If you fail to identify the mistakes, okay, if you fail to identify the underlying meanings, then you will definitely get it wrong. Okay, this is how crucial it is. So infer the hidden meanings. R, after that you have to relate to the relevant topic. Okay, so sometimes right for certain topics they have a keywords, then your child should be able to spot. Like water cycle, straight away you talk about water vapor, you talk about mist, you talk about cooler surface, blah blah. Then you will start to know that oh, this is under water cycle. After that, what's next? Train your child to write out all the scientific words. Example, I give you this is a good habit. Okay, so this one is good for revision. Okay, but not good for exam, because exam you don't have so much time to write out. But this one is to train your thought process so that eventually when you come to familiar words, right, your child can throw in the words, okay, within the shortest time. Like heat energy. What is the properties of heat? Okay, this is where your child needs to talk about expand, contract, lucid, gain heat, or whichever. Okay, all this train your child to churn out all these words. Write everything at the side. Usually for my class, right, all my children will write down the notes at the side. Okay, so when they revise, right, it will be so much faster. Finish already. Make sure ask them to present their answers systematically. Okay, I have marked too many students' work, right? Okay, give you one scenario. Okay, because I know some of you may not be science parents. Okay, you don't teach your child science, so let me give you a legit example. If you happen to meet up a friend or colleague, hey, what did you take for lunch yesterday? Then your colleague will tell you things like, yesterday I walked Pasamalam, I passed through. Then my supper I eat this. Then morning I eat the dumpling. Then at night, you get what I mean? So they are not answering straight to the point. Whereas for PSLE, this is critical because examiner is trying to test how much you understand, how much you analyze the question, and how do you comprehend and finalize your answer. The way how you construct the answers should be systematically. Every cause, okay, here, the effect is actually due to a cause. You need the cause to take place, then the effect will follow up. You understand what I mean? Okay, so always mark your children down on this strictly. I have many students will tell me things like, teacher, I you see my answer is actually behind. Hey, teacher, my answer is in front. But for PSLE, your child will not be seated next to the examiner. Your child is not able to pinpoint the parts to the examiner. Okay, so long the flow is wrong. Okay, so this is how critical it is. Okay, so let's go through this together. Okay, I want everyone to put on your thinking cap. I want you to start inferring the information. Okay, now then later you all tell me how many important information can you infer. Can? Okay, male mosquito do not bite and spread dengue fever. Male mosquito carrying bacteria W mixed with a female mosquito. The eggs do not hatch. In 1 year, male mosquito carrying bacteria W were released in an estate. Explain why the number of dengue cases in this estate decreased after that. Okay, so I want to not challenge everyone. Okay, I should say I challenge everyone. Okay, now can you tell me about male mosquito? From this word, what can you all infer? Okay, this is a good practice. Even for a parent, okay, you try. What can you infer from this male mosquito? Okay, you all can text in the chat. Anything you can infer from the first word. Okay, you are thinking right. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Very fast. So the first word, yes, thank you, Huishan. Okay, the first word over here straight away tells us that male mosquito do not bite. So literally, they actually tell me that male mosquito is actually not considered as a pest. So this one is very important. They are literally telling you this one not considered as a pest. So that means human don't eventually kill them. We, in fact, needs the help of the male mosquito. For town council, periodically they will release all this male mosquito. Yeah, because companies, all this, we actually occasionally will see this happening. Okay, so this is something, in fact, we release to the environment, okay, to purposely mix with the female. Okay, good job. So we don't kill them. In fact, we are using them. Okay, next one. Bacteria W mixed with a female. Oh, mixed with a female means this is where the genetic information will pass to the female. But what kind of genetic information is that? Okay, it's actually what? The eggs will not hatch. So this is the next part. The eggs do not hatch. Okay, so this is important. So when the eggs do not hatch, that means they will stop the rates of reproduction. Oh, all right, good. Is that Xing Fei? All right, good job. Now, the next question says, explain why the dengue cases decrease after that. This one is a PSLE question, and usually students, right, fail to answer this. Usually they will get 0 because they fail to identify the question word and apply to the question. Okay, so first thing we do our first part, which is I already infer all the hidden meanings. Okay, congratulations. Second, we have to IR. R is what? Relate. Okay, so we have to relate the question to the relevant keywords. So now the relevant keywords is what? Life cycle. Oh, mosquito life cycle, 4-stage life cycle. Okay, this is what you have to train your child to think. Okay, eventually now all my students eventually to tell me all this already because they stressed enough by the I.R.I.S already. Okay, then what about reproduction? Reproduction, this is where the male feels with the female, then eventually they will lay eggs. So you start to churn out all this. Okay, then after you get all this information, I means what? You already indicate all the important scientific phrases, then you present them systematically. Okay, let me help you with this. Okay, now we explain to this. Everyone ask yourself, male mosquito fuse with the female. Fuse already just now, what is our thought process? That genetic information is passed on. Yes or no? So this is where the bacterial W is passed on to the female mosquito. Female mosquito now is having the bacterial W. So what is bacterial W? Oh, the one that will stop the egg from hatching. Correct. So more eggs will not hatch. Xing Fei, because you don't throw your water, right? Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so more eggs do not hatch, right? Then what happens? So we have eventually fewer mosquito eggs to hatch into female adult. Okay, but I want to ask all the ladies and gentlemen today, do you think our answer should stop here? Any one of you, do you think my answer should stop here? No, many of the children will stop here. Okay, no, because we need to mention how it to the decrease of dengue fever. Okay, so when we cannot stop at eggs, so we have to mention that what fewer mosquito to bite the human. Okay, that's why results in fewer dengue cases. Okay, so this is why I mean, okay, practice the I.R.I.S. It's just acronyms to help the child to remember. Okay, first to do what? Okay, good. Now we have a lot of questions and examples today. Okay, so hopefully today after these 2 hours, y'all can change a bit of the mindset and the way how you approach science, open-ended. Okay. All right. So now we move on to this. Yeah, throughout my 15 years of teaching in schools and conducting seminars for science, okay, I actually had this privilege of gaining valuable insights. Okay, I would like to share something interesting with everyone. You know, last time, right, when we are actually assigned to be PSI markers, right, okay, when we actually I saw all my students eventually sit in the exam hall, you know, wow, I can see all their faces filled with determination. You know, after 1 year's effort, you know, wow, now they put everything they learned, okay, and their hard work onto this exam, okay, which I think is something very, yeah, it's something that made me, how to say, I'm actually really very touched, you know, when I see all this. So I couldn't but feel very impressed, okay, by the effort they put in into their exams, okay? So sometimes it's actually very heartening to see how much they have grown academically. Okay, but sometimes, right, eventually for PSI markers, right, we will see a lot of students, right, giving very unique answer. And to a stage, right, whereby the examiners, right, the markers have to go and discuss with each other whether we can accept those kind of answers, okay? It's actually possible. So later, I'm going to show you guys, right, certain questions, right, you can generate possibility. Okay, doesn't mean there is right or wrong. You just make sure it's logical and it's possible. It's a possibility that it can come, you know, to be part of the answer. Okay, so once again, okay, I know though. How many of you over here are actually the one coaching your child's science? Okay, tell me over here. Okay, so if you are a daddy, you'll say yes, you are the superhero. Okay, if you are the mommy, you tell me you are the super mommy. Okay, oh, okay. Actually, quite a bit of you, quite a handful of you, because PAP says, right, no choice, right? Yes, I fully understand. We have Zaida, Hui Shan, wow, a lot of you, so Chris also, Rina also. Okay, so now, okay, besides, right, I have to first salute everyone over here, okay, because all the super mommy and daddies, because I know it's really very tiring. Okay, after one whole days of work, looking at our boss, right, then after that we still have to look at our children's face. Okay, they are also like little to us, right? Okay, then eventually we still have to help them with their work. But what's the nightmare? Sometimes, right, when we see the questions, we don't even know what about. Okay, so this is rather stressful. Okay, so now I understand that parents can play a very important role in coaching PSI students. Okay, but it's important that to recognize, right, for parents, you may not have the same level of expertise as trained science teacher. Okay, so for those of you who are currently coaching your child's science, I know you are trying to play a part, okay? But sometimes, right, if you are not familiar with the PSI syllabus, there is a slight risk involved. Unless you tell me you are strictly following the answer key, but still answer key at times can be wrong, okay? So what happens if your child is learning the wrong things every time? Right now, okay? So now I'm going to help you guys a bit on the scientific phrases, okay? So now let's move on to this. Dun, dun, dun. Now I want to show you guys, right? Okay, for those of you coaching your child's science, right? Okay, I want you all to treat this as a challenge. I actually asked one of the parents to help me craft out this answer. This is exactly the answer which this parent teach the child. Okay, so you all let me know if this answer is suitable. Okay, so this is on water cycle. I place a glass of cold water on the table. Okay, so can you all tell me how water droplets are formed? Okay, so you all read through this, then you all tell me whether it's acceptable or which part is wrong. being straight away wrong, right? Okay. That's quite a kind of me. Why? Why wrong? First sentence already wrong. But why wrong? If we cannot teach our child this one, boy, reading at your first part, right? Wrong. Then throw back, cannot. Gain heat. Okay, very good. Xian Hui, you talk about gain heat. Thank you, Michelle. Very specific. But it's not only the first sentence. How about the rest of it? Gain heat from surrounding. All right, good job. Yes. Anything else that is wrong? Being two. We don't say gain heat to. Okay, yeah, this one is. Thank you for making this mistake. Yeah, I always there is a set of template answer one. Okay, I think. Hey, y'all don't keep telling me about the first sentence. How about the subsequent sentence? Which surface? No comparison. Hey, this one, this question is not about comparison because there is only one setup. Okay, Xian Hui comes into contact. Well done. Hey, I have a lot of very smart parents over here. Hello, nice to see you guys. This is the question. This is the question, Cheryl. Yes. Okay, so literally, you're a kid. Well done. Okay, so now let's go through this. For all the water cycle, all the parents, please go and take down. Okay, when you talk about water cycle, okay, let's help. Definitely wrong. Imagine this is how a parent teach their child water cycle. That's why the child eventually fail their water cycle test. Okay, first thing, water, right? You have to always say gain heat from the source. So what is the source? Just now we have very nice parents over here to tell me it's the surrounding air. Okay, but actually you can mention it from the warm surrounding air. Okay, to be more specific. So now after that, what's next? Then you can say and what? When they gain heat, what is the process? Is evaporate. Okay, many of the students will stop here. They will say evaporate to form water vapor. Okay, you have to mention is to form warm water vapor because water vapor can be cold, can be warm. Okay, so we need something warm to come into something cold. Only then condensation can take place. Okay. No. Chinja. Okay, thank you for trying. Okay, we don't mention about the cold water vapor from the glass. Okay, so this one is solely for the cold water. This template is solely for the cold water. Okay. Then hot water have their own template answer. Okay. To form warm water vapor. So after that, what's next? We have to know, okay, the warm water vapor rises and come into contact. Okay, we all know that warm water vapor by right they should be less dense. Less dense, that's why they will rise or they will float. Okay, they will come into contact. This is correct. What the parents mentioned, you can say touches or you can say come into contact with what. Okay, just now another parent already mentioned, yes, what surface is essential for the child to write cooler, outer or inner. Okay, because many times, right, the surface they are both sides, one inner, one outer. If the child only write cooler surface of the glass, then half a mark gone. Okay, this is how precise they want it to be. Okay, of the what? What object is that? You can say the glass, you can the container, the bigger. Okay, loses heat is important. Most of the students will miss out this. I want to ask parents, if a child straight away say touches the glass, condense to form water droplets, is that acceptable? Okay, no. Okay, I want you all to be very firm. No. Why? Because without losing heat, how would they condense? You have to get this very clear. In order for condensation to occur, they need to have a temperature difference. They need to lose heat. All right. So this is essential. Okay. So if your child managed to learn the whole of this template, your child can score the 2 marks already. It can come out every time. Cold water, so long as cold water, they can change to basin, a bigger or whichever. The same theory applies. Okay, well done. Now, just now we have one parent, okay, mentioned about the comparison. Okay, yes, it's very similar question. Today I actually did my homework. I pluck out a lot of like those very common questions, okay, for you all to discuss, okay? So now, just now a parent mentioned about just now the previous question is on comparison, okay? No, because it's only one setup. But now, okay, if a child we just let them memorize tons of answer key, okay? when it comes to the question they twitch, right, they give you one more setup. Okay, they give you, yes, all this will be given, okay, at the end of the lesson, webinar. So if they give you one more setup, right, then what happens? Okay, if your child just mainly talk about, oh, the water gain heat from the surrounding air evaporate to form, all this your child will get zero. Okay, because now we are having two setup, you need to use the correct comparative word, which is faster. They will evaporate into more warm water vapor, more warm water vapor to rise, come into contact, blah blah blah. Okay, so I need you guys to be very firm in this and emphasize this to your kid. Okay, this is important. Okay, okay, congratulations on the parents. Now I'm going to show you guys, let's discuss on the mindset of examiners, okay? You need to know this. Then you can teach your child or the kid over here, you can also understand, okay? So first of all, for examiners, right, they are usually looking for several key aspects. They want to evaluate whether the student's performance, okay, on the exam. Usually, they will say things like, usually local students, they will make incomplete answers. This is what I mentioned earlier on. They assume the examiners to know the answer. So they eventually just give you a brief one and expect the examiners to elaborate on their own, okay, which is incorrect. By right, a child should convince the examiners with detailed answers. Okay, because the examiners actually want to test how elaborated or how concise is your answers. Okay, so that's why you can impress them by writing as little as possible. You just treat us like baby, you just treat the examiners like baby. You just have to teach them everything with the right scientific phrases. Okay, for examiners also think that for local students actually, from their answers, right, there is a lack of clarity. So students usually give answers that is not clear, not concise. So sometimes, right, it's very difficult for the examiners to understand what they are trying to say. You understand where I'm coming from. Okay? So let them write very simple things. Okay, I know many of the students, some of the English, right, they like to floss their vocabulary or whichever. No, please don't. Okay, just write simple English to bring up the point. Okay, you just need to let examiners to understand. Oh, okay, this child actually understand how to interpret the graph. Okay, how to consolidate, how to conclude. This is good enough. Okay, because poor communication skills can also result in loss of marks. Okay, now, incorrect information. This is also very common mistake made by students. Many times, right, the questions didn't give us, okay, like example, they give you a diagram, okay, there is two mice inside. Then there is a stopper. When there is a stopper, what happened? The mice has no oxygen. Right? But to children, right, they learn in P3, living things need air, food, and water. But the question asks you, state one observation based on the diagram. So for a child, right, they want to act smart. Okay, they want to want to impress examiner. Then they write, oh, because living things need air, food, and water, which is wrong, it's zero. Because based on the diagram, they only put a stopper, the mice inside, the stopper, the flask with a stopper, so prevent the oxygen from entering. So if a child writes about uh, living things need air, food, and water, so they are assuming there is water. They are assuming there is food, which is no. Okay, which is wrong. So end up many of the students waste their marks in this area. Alright. Poorly constructed answers, this is important. Some of the answers just like I mentioned already is not well organized. The they are not in the right sequence. Okay, so all this will eventually cause them to lose the marks. Okay, then throughout your answers, you also have to make sure you can convince the examiners that you have a good understanding of the science concept. You need to know how to observe and infer. This is very important. For all the questions, you need to be able to infer the hidden meanings. You need to know how to interpret the graph. From the graph, you need to know how to extract the data. Yeah. Okay. So usually they will look into this area. So this is what you have to bear in mind and help your child with this. Yeah. Diagram, able to see whether there's water or not. Yes. So many of the times, right, the student will just assume there is water and food because P3 man, we learn about living things need air, food, and water man. So eventually they memorize the scientific phrases. So they just throw the whole thing in out. Okay, so this is not correct and it's not the right way to do. Okay. Okay, so now everyone over here, okay, we are going to do some hands-on now, okay, hands-on activities. I'm going to recruit all the parents today, okay, to turn into part-time PSLE marker. Are you ready for that? Okay, I'm going to give you some answers. I'm not going to tell you whether they are right or wrong, okay, but doesn't mean all the questions I posted here is wrong, okay? I know some of the parents' mindset from the previous webinar. They say, teacher I.R.I.S, whatever you post, right, that means it's wrong already, okay? Yeah, I want you to there are some correct answers. I want you to learn how to read, how to spot the mistakes. Okay. This is what I train my children on as well. Because PSLE, they are alone in the examination hall. They need to learn the skills on how to spot their own mistakes. Okay. Are you all ready, everyone? Can you text me a ready? Okay. If you want to convert to a part-time PSLE marker. Okay. Yes, I have many supportive parents today. Hui Shan, yes, thank you. Hey, you must give me an exclamation mark ready. Okay, but no money, no salary to pay for everyone. Okay. Okay. Yes. So you just tell me whether it's true, whether it's false, or I don't know. Okay, you just tell me all this. Okay, let's read the questions together. Moto used a hand sanitizer to spray on his palm on a hot day. Keyword ah. Hey, I'm not going to tell you where's the keyword. Okay, you spot it yourself. When spray, the hand sanitizer came out as tiny droplets of liquid. Okay, so now they ask you why Moto's palm felt cooler. The child says liquid cool down the liquid by carrying the heat away. You don't just tell me true or false, you have to tell me the reason, okay? Jace, tell me why wrong. Yeah, I'm here looking at your answers. No, you cannot say incomplete, okay? We have to convince the students, how can we mark them wrong? Evaporation. Okay. Okay. Many of you say false, right? Okay. So what is the mistake? What is the mistake? Actually, in fact, right, sometimes right, you go listen to the parents talking to their children. I mean, they speak like this one, you know. Hey, boy, come this so that you will make your skin cooler. You know what I mean? Because for us, we just want to use simple language, correct not? You don't expect the parents to speak scientific language to your child every day. You will seem very weird also, right? Okay, thank you, Xian Hui. I think now your answers is I think pretty is the best. Okay, now good. Michelle, they didn't yes, it's about evaporative cooling. Okay. Now let's go through. So this answer is definitely wrong. Quite a few mistakes, right? Okay, we should say gain heat. Okay, gain heat and then after what happened? Okay, then what? Okay, so this one is definitely wrong. It's 0. Okay, now next one. Another child says liquid droplets evaporate from the surface of the skin, thus make the palm cooler. Gain heat. Wow, very stressed. Okay, can. Lose heat and cooling is experience. Okay, but for them, PSI, they don't write about cooling. They don't talk. They didn't learn about evaporative cooling. Okay, the surrounding loose heat. Loose heat is about condensing already. VL, right now. So you talk about surrounding loose heat. Also to means that the skin gain heat, something like that. Okay, so yes. But we don't say loose heat for now. We have to say something else. We have to say the liquid droplets what? Okay, can I think most of you also still think that this answer is wrong. Okay, well done. Let's try this one. Oh, 先会 straight away true. All right. Lawrence, true. True. Wow. Okay. So it seems like this year's our part-time PSI markers are very lenient. So this is where we can send all our kids to join you guys. Okay. They will take the PSI. Okay. Good job. Thank you. All the parents you say true, which is still wrong. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, still wrong. Okay, let's go through what a correct answer should be, okay? Hey, Jason, okay, let's go through. Although you can see the word gain heat, although you can see the word evaporates into water vapor, but I need everyone to know, by evaporating to water vapor, it does not cause the pump to become cooler. So something else is missing in between. Okay? So this is where a child needs to write. Dun-dun. Because a child needs to write during evaporation, heat is conducted away from the pump, thus making the pump cooler. Okay, get it? So many times the student will eventually stop there, evaporate into water vapor, stop, full stop. Zero still zero because you need to explain how evaporation leads to the pump feeling cooler. This is where the heat is being conducted away. Okay? Okay, never mind. Okay, we need more training. Okay, all the PSI markers over here. Okay, one more question for you. Applause for all your efforts. All right, now let's go through this. Okay, for you, especially all the pet lovers. The diagram below shows a simple food dispenser to feed a pet dog wherever the pet owner is away. The food tray is attached to the metal bar. Okay, now the question asks you, explain how the food dispenser works to refill the food pellets when there is little or no food left in the tray. Well done, Cheryl. Yes, you mentioned a very important point. Okay, when we talk about a very popular question also. Sometimes the boy get out from the swimming pool. Okay, then what caused them to feel cold? So it's exactly the same logic. Okay, yes, thank you, Cheryl. Yes, you are right. So guys, the child, okay, give you all some hints first because I understand not all the parents teach your child science. Okay, so let me help you with this. You follow the number. Okay, the sequence should follow the number. Okay, give you all some time, you analyze, then I'll move on. Something to do with the food tray. What happened to the compressed spring? What happened to the metal contacts? Okay, then what happened to this? And what happened to the movable steel bar? Okay, so now the questions. Dun, dun, dun. The child says the metal contact close the circuit, allow the electricity to flow through, and the iron rod turning into an electromagnet. Attracted steel bar and caused the food to drop. Wow, Sing Fei straight away through. All right, very supportive. How about the rest? Sing Fei very lenient, right? Vinutan. All right. Vinutan also mentioned it's true. Some of you say false. All right, Adeline mentioned this one starts with one. Okay, good. Some of you starts to mention this question. You see, this shall straight away start from number 3. Number 1 should be food tray. Number 2 should be compressed spring, and then followed by the metal bar. Oh, seems like your kid is answering. Woohoo! Okay, sure. Good job. So you see, metal bar is the one that comes into contact. So, but your child straight away the sequence is not correct because they start from number 3. Okay, actually for questions, right, we don't give you the number. Okay, I give you number because y'all never study primary school. Okay, so I give you all some hints. Okay, so eventually you see most of the students they miss out this part. They miss out number 1, number 2, and then they go straight to number 3 onwards. So answer is wrong. Okay, the sequence is wrong. Okay, now let's try. Oh, Xingfei P5 and P6. Oh, well done. So P6 having nightmare already, right? Your child. Hey, how about the rest of you? Not correct. Hey, y'all cannot just say not correct. You have to tell me why. Okay? If like that part-time PSI master, you just give me answer wrong, I think many parents will be waiting for you outside. Okay. Compressed spring. They didn't mention about that, right? Okay, some of you tell me true. Some of you tell me elastic spring force. All right. Okay. Now let's go through. We have to mention about, yeah, they miss out the compressed spring, right? They talk about metal bar will come into contact with the metal contact straight away. When there is not much food, right, the metal bar will come into contact. Doesn't make sense, right? They are missing points, right? Okay, very good. For adults, we can tell it. But for children, they will just, never mind lah, no food. No food. That means metal bar will come into contact. So to them, it's very straightforward. Okay, Xing Fei, you are very lenient marker. I like it. Okay, so this answer is wrong. Still wrong. Okay, a lot of missing points here and there. Okay, now we try this. Okay, Rina, your answers, you're having the right concept. Your thought process is on the right track, but you don't say the spring will no longer be compressed. Then what happened to the spring? Okay, you don't say they are no longer being compressed. You have to say something will happen to the spring. That's why the metal bar will come into contact. But the answer generally is very good. Okay, but some wrong usage of words. Wei Shan says true. How about the rest of the parents? Mummies and daddies? True. Okay. Can I decided to continue your contract for PSIE markers until 10 years later. Okay, I'm going to continue your contract. Okay, all the parents over here, you tell me answer true, Answer, I'm so sorry. Answer is still false. Okay, want to resign already, right? Okay, let me help a bit, because you say the spring expand. Yes, Michelle, you got it. Yes, spring cannot expand. Okay, we can talk about expand means they occupy more space, right now. Okay, so for spring, what is the opposite of compress? Stretch. Okay, so when the child use the wrong usage of word, this is where all the marks will be gone. Okay, but other than that, it's good. So the answer is the spring stretches and the metal bar come into contact and close the circuit. This is important. It will form a closed circuit, therefore electric current can flow through the circuit. Cannot say do not compress. You have to say what happened to the spring. Do not compress, so what will happen to the spring? Okay, Xingfei, this is important. So only then you will become an electromagnet, attract the steel bar, causing the foot pellet to flow down. Okay, well done. Okay, so this is the answer. Okay, thank you for all your hard work over here. We have a lot more questions, okay, for all the kids and parents to complete, okay? Hey, all the parents and students, now I'm going to cover some of the tips, right? How to train a child to minimize losing their marks in their PSLE. Okay, so y'all can eventually try to capture the important points and guide your child according to that. Okay, every time when they do questions, right, especially for open-ended, please ask them, don't jump straight into the question. First, read the question carefully to your child, right? When they read the question, mean just the eyes roll, glance through the words. No. When we say read means have to infer all the hidden meanings. Ask them to write out. From now onwards, right, all the activities you give them, okay, ask them to write out all the hidden meanings. Okay? Then after that, ask them, okay, to avoid missing any crucial information. Okay, because all this is important. This is your task number one from now onwards, if you are coaching them science. Second, help them to use relevant example. Like, very good. Just now, one of the parents, I mentioned about the example on the evaporative cooling. Straight away, you can link to the swimming pool. Okay, so this is what you guys have to do. When your child is doing this question, ask them to link to some other questions which they did earlier on. Ask them to link together and churn out the necessary scientific phrases. This is going to be very helpful. Third one, always write clear and concise answer. Write simple English. Many of the children, they cannot spell or they do not how to use it correctly. They will choose to use those like very difficult words. No, use simple and straightforward expression to convince the examiner. Okay, your job is to convince examiner to how much you understand about question. Okay, revise and practice, but apparently practice with the right guidance. Okay, you don't study with the wrong person and then eventually you're learning the wrong stuff every time. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to help you guys on experiment-based question. The last component, stay with me, okay? Because the last component, right, I'm going to cover those higher order thinking questions and those real life example application. Okay. So how many of the parents over here you are telling me, right? Definitely you believe that your child will not be able to get AL1 kind. I have many like previous webinar parents, they actually also very honest. They just tell me, teacher I don't believe my child can get AL1. Okay, yes. Okay, yes, I understand. Okay, because you guys have seen the nightmare, right, Florence? Okay, but I just want y'all to know, many of the parents, in fact, I should say, yeah, many of the parents really don't think, right, scoring full marks for PSI science is important. Am I right? Okay, to those of you who tell you that, hey, my child score PSI results 100 marks, you will say, oh, this one, yeah, something is wrong, right? I have to eat medicine, right? Okay, but later I'm going to show you experiment-based question is such a way, right? Okay, all the template answer, all the answering techniques, right? It can help my child, okay, not my child, my student, right, to score 100 marks in his science exam. Okay, later I'm going to show you. Okay, show you the proof. Now, so this is what I'm going to show everyone. Okay, I know why you are so confident your child that is not able to score for open-ended, because they have not received the right answering techniques. They have not received the right guidance yet. Okay, as I mentioned earlier on, MCQ can at times be very tricky, but open-ended is actually structured in such a way, right? So long a child is familiar with the various question type. Okay, when they see the question type, they know what is the answer, right? Roughly what is the answer, right? Then, okay, they can score very well already. That's why I'm telling you, scoring full marks for open-ended is really possible and it's already proven in my students' results. Okay, so for those of you, if your child is not performing right now, can we say that your child is just not able to do it or they are just not as smart? No, it's just that they don't possess the qualities to excel. Okay, so there are many things that can affect a child's academic result. It can be a lack of motivation, all the while they have not been scoring good results for science. So apparently suddenly you ask him, hey, boy, do you think you can get 100? Well, he will definitely dig a hole and hide inside. Okay, because you are stressing him. So for those students with very poor study habits or learning some difficulties, okay, these are the way where parents we can help them. Okay, so I definitely know that every child can do much better. Okay, so long we give them the right strategy, and so long we give them the cheat code to open-ended. Okay, last time parents we have this 10-year series, right? From the I think red spot or something. Then this is where we actually try to familiarize ourselves with all the question type. So when we go to exam, right, or straight away the answers or something like this, and then we can do. Okay, so now we are going to help them with the cheat code for open-ended. Okay, so I give you a cheat code first. For open-ended, right? Okay, for just learning the answering techniques, those template answers, I can already help your child to secure at least 25 or 28 marks over 44 without applying science concept. Okay, it's just applying template answer. Okay, yes. So let me help you with one of this. Okay. Okay, for PSIE, right, make sure your child is fully prepared for all this, because for open-ended, usually they only test you the same thing. They give you experiment, they give you a what is a fair test? Why is there a need for a fair test? What is the change variable? What is the measured variable? What is the purpose of having the control setup? Okay, how to ensure the accuracy and reliability of the experiment? All this standard way of us questioning. Okay. Okay, I want everyone to try this. Okay, you read this on your own. Then the question is, what is the aim of the experiment? Okay, I will write the answer in the chat. Okay, so this is a very, I should say that all my students should be able to do this really, aim of experiment. Okay, you just need to take two things, you should be able to get this 2 marks ready. Okay, so I give you all 30 seconds to read up and tell me the answer. Are you still reading? Because it's very long, right? Okay, but I have to let you guys know, for PSLE, right, you will expect to see a lot of this kind of questions. Why? They will give you like this kind of experiment-based question. They give you such long context, right? Most of the students will shut down the moment they see this lab because they assume it's very difficult. Okay, but I'm telling you, when they give you very long questions, right, in fact, it's easier for you to do because when they give you long questions like this, right, it shows that all the answers are already stated in the question. So all you need to do is to ask your child, okay, teach them how to extract the information and it's good to go. Okay, your child should be able to get 2 marks reading. Okay, so let me help you with this. Info first, okay? First thing, sandy means no water. Half filled means what? They are trying to have a control setup. One with water, one is what? Half filled with water. Now place the seed. You allow the seed to germinate. So what are the things you can extract? Water, oxygen, and warmth. Spray some water. Okay, there is moisture for the seed to. Then you fill 2 similar pots, so there is a control setup with the same amount of soil. And the change variable is a type of soil, which 鲜惠 you already mentioned that. Okay, next, transfer 3 baby plant of similar height. Same thing, constant variable is also type of plant. You place the pot side by side is to what? So that there is a same location, same amount of water watered. You see, they actually give you a lot of information, but actually it's like trying to confuse you. It's trying to distract you. Okay, so don't be cheated by that. They measure the heights of each young plant. Okay, so straight away, this one you should be able to know the measured variable. Compare the average height. See, after they give you such a long question over here, for aim of experiment, a child only needs to identify 2 information. So the child, okay, when they are talking about aim of experiment, this one you all don't believe, you're going to take out tons of exam paper. Okay, straight away, this one is very commonly tested. Okay, so change variable. Oh, this question tells us the change variable just now we mentioned is type of soil. Okay, good. Measure variable. This one there is a typo. This one should be measured. So the measure variable is the heights of each young plant. Okay, so what is the template? To find out if the change variable affects the measured variable. Okay, which, let me see. Michelle, you are correct. Xianhui, you cannot assume it's loamy or sandy soil. Okay, this one you cannot assume because it's not stated. The heights of the plant can. You can talk about the height of the plant, you can talk about the growth of the plant. Okay, but yeah, okay, most of you get it. Okay, so this one I already help you to secure the 2 marks. Okay, there are a lot of examples. Why do you think you have to keep the plant in your dark room? Okay, how is it going to serve as a fair test? All these are template answer. Okay, good. Then I'm trying to show this is what I'm been drilling my class. I challenge my class in this segment a lot. I drill them a lot on experiment-based question and real-life application types of question. You know, you all have to prepare yourself, prepare your kit. Okay, for experiment-based question, usually they will ask to design, how to plan an experiment, how to describe experiments to investigate. So often, right, they'll be tested on identifying variables, control conditions, recording conclusion. All these are commonly tested. Okay, so make sure they are well prepared on this before they move on to PSLE exam. The next one, PSLE questions are moving towards real world application. Okay, so how many of you actually agree with me? Any questions can come out. If you guys go and read through on past year papers, right? Sometimes you talk about toilet bowl. Sometimes you talk about the glasses. How can you cover? You know, anything that's happening around us, right, can turn out to be a PSLE question. So this is what I've been drilling my class. Okay, even P3, P4, P5, and P6. I've been drilling them on how to think out of the box. Okay, so I can eventually give you how do we use the properties of magnet in real life. This is talk about EZ-Link card. You know, how do we reduce carbon footprint? Okay, all this is important. So once again, pleased to announce our PSI students of 2022 benefit a lot. Okay, these are the results, right? As we managed to predict the right team for our children. So eventually, when they do their questions, they find it so much easier. Okay, because we actually predicted some of the questions and we drill them a lot on real life application and experiment based questions. So this is how I drill my students on a weekly basis, presenting their findings. So overall, every child needs to do a presentation during their lesson, okay, to show students on uh, how to apply to those higher order thinking questions, okay, through critical thinking. So now I give you all some example application question, okay. So I want you all to try out all these application questions. This one is daily life application. You can see this kind of plants every time. Yes or no? Okay, so now I want you to take a look. How come some plants with purple leaf can still make their own food? Okay, I want you all to try this, think about it, then you tell me the answer. So if this child says their chlorophyll is purple color, so they are able to trap light energy. Is that correct? Okay, I want you all to go and think about it. Why chlorophyll is purple in color? Yes, why? This one is plant, why? It's a unique plant. So plant by right should be able to make food. So now we can see them purple. So purple is the chlorophyll. Okay, so what is the correct answer? If you not say it's wrong, but you don't have to tell me. Ah, okay. Good. So you mean there is still chlorophyll? Is it? You see, the way how you tell me, now this is the answer I'm looking for, okay? False. Chlorophyll is always green. Very good. They are green color pigments. But how come now this one turns out to be purple? Okay. Hey, yes, VL. So far you managed to give me the best answer. Good job, VL. Chlorophyll is green. Okay, how come it turns out to be purple? Because purple color pigments are covering the green color pigment. So that means the green color pigment is actually underneath. So the purple colors is on top. Okay, so this is one of the daily life application. Okay, so good job. Okay, so for those of you who good try, really. Okay, so we try the next one. Okay. Melissa and her sister planted an equal number of kidney beans in two identical pots and watered them with 10 ml of water every day. Melissa placed her pots under the sun in the balcony, and she knew that plants need sunlight to grow well. Her sister placed her pots in her room and she wanted to see the plants every day. Whose seed will germinate first? BL says sister. Why? Okay, many of you tell me, okay, some of you tell me Melissa. Very good. Some of you tell me no sunlight is required. You see, when sunlight is not required, then why sister's seed will germinate first? How come cannot be both of them germinate at the same time? Okay, so now you guys can explain to me. If they do not need sunlight, then how come cannot be both of them germinate at the same time? Okay, Jiade, you mentioned about Melissa. Yes, yes, thank you. Yes, Jiade, I saw you. Yes. Michelle, you don't get the question. Okay, you see, so now we have two setup. Okay, Melissa's one is at the balcony, so exposed to sunlight. But the sister's one, right, is actually inside the cupboard. So it's actually receiving no sunlight. Hmm. Okay, still Melissa, right? Okay, can thank you. Okay, you see, after looking at all these answers, right, only one of you managed to give me very close answer. Okay, many of you tell me it's sister. Okay, but then explain. Huh? Eh, I forget to play the music. Okay, I didn't. Don't worry. So many of you give me the wrong answer. So some of you tell me it's both. Both of them at the same rate. Okay, let's go through. This is what I mean by daily life application. Okay, real life application, which is actually require the students to think out of the box. Now, both of them having the same number of seeds. Now we all know that sunlight by right is the one that is required by the plants to make food. But for this case, the sunlight is what disadvantage because it causes the moisture in the plant to gain heat and evaporate. So when Melissa's pots gain heat and evaporate, end up Melissa's pot has lesser water. So they have lesser water to germinate. Whereas for sister's pot, right, because it's all enclosed area, okay, the rate of evaporation will be slower. So that means there will be more water. You already identified germination, they do not need sunlight. So, but they need water. So that's why sister's pot has more water, okay, to germinate. Very, very good, VL. Hey, VL, you are the one coaching your child science, is it? Yes. So this question, they actually test on water cycle and plant life cycle. Okay, this is what I mean by P5, P6, usually they will cross topics. Okay, they will embed like 2 or 3 topics in one question. Okay, Xing Fei, so what is the answer? First thing answer is sister seed. Why? Because during germination, we all have to explain to the examiner. We know that sunlight is not required. Okay, and we know that what sister seed is placed inside the room. Therefore, the rate of evaporation is lower. This is important. You need to show examiner that hey, see, I spotted this. Rate of evaporation is lower. That's why we cannot stop here. We have to say more water is left in the pot for the seed to germinate. Okay, therefore sister seed will germinate faster. Okay, so this is the entire process you have to think through. Okay, then you have to express your answer to convince examiner. Okay, well done, everyone. So now I want to interview everyone over here, all the ladies and gentlemen, all the boy and girl. Okay, now do you think right higher order thinking skills should only be taught to smarter students? Can you all put a yes or no? Do you think we should only teach those students, smarter students on higher order thinking? I have many parents trying to, tell me, teacher I actually I'm very concerned because my child, their science is not up to standard yet. I don't want to confuse him further. So this is where I actually explain to the parents, okay? Exposing students to higher order thinking questions, right? Actually, it is very critical. Actually, students should be exposed to higher order thinking questions as early as like P3 or P4. Okay, why? Because this is a skill, right? Whereby they need to learn how to think critically. Okay, every child over here has the potential to develop higher order thinking skills. So long we give them appropriate instructions and practice. Most of the times, right? Many times, right? You guys will say, oh, weaker students they are not good in academic results. But many times, right, most of the times it's actually the weaker students to be able to think out of the box and give me the correct answer. Okay, so never belittle your child. Okay, because sometimes, right, like even for those science Olympiads or something, right? Okay, for those students who are weaker, but eventually they can get the answer. That's about how we deliver, okay, how we train them or drill them in terms of critical thinking. Okay, and this is a high weightage in PSLE exam for critical thinking questions. Okay, so please eventually don't belittle your child. Okay, every child can eventually succeed. It's just that how much effort or how much right guidance we are giving them. Okay, so I want you all to try one questions. Real life application question created by my P4 child. This one is created by a P4 student. So this is eventually how I train them to observe things around. Okay, so every week they will share their ideas, their questions to the whole class. Okay, so we all know about popular hot drink in Prata restaurant, those data rate, right? How come the milk tea is poured from one container to another? You all seen this before, right? It's very amazing, right? Wow, they have to pull the tea, okay? So how come they have to pull the tea so many times? Besides making it fruity, right? What does the pulling action do to the hot drink and why? Okay, so give you all some time. Y'all tell me the answer. Okay, this one I want everyone to try first. Okay, I'm not going to give you any student's answer. Okay, just think out of the box and tell me what's the reason behind. Parent. Okay, you talk about cooling the drink, but we cannot accept our answers to be only forward, right, to cool the drink. They will definitely test the students, okay, parents. This one is really a PSI question. Okay. So you see, if let's say this kind of daily life application, even adult cannot answer, right? Okay. Do you think a child can answer? So because we read so much about environment, we read so much, we study so much. So this is where have to expose your child to this kind of application question as early as possible. Okay, very good, Adeline. We have this Michelle. Okay, yes, on the right track. Good job. Okay, some of you to see the bits the mixture. Okay. Okay. So what are some of the possibility? Okay, you see. So just now I mentioned, right, for the application question, actually there are several types of question, right? The student can generate the possibility. Okay, so now some of the general possibility is to taste better, looks professional, so everyone will come to your restaurant and see the show, to cool the drink faster. But for this case, the keyword is hot drink. So definitely pulling action is to something to do with hot drink. Yes or no? So over here, the best possible or relevant answers is to cool the drink faster. But now we already spotted this. Okay, this is the topic under heat energy, but we need to learn how to link this idea to the scientific phrases we learn. So we learn about what? We learn about heat energy, we learn about exposed surface area. Okay, so this is where a child needs to write down increase the exposed surface area of the hot data rate in contact with the surrounding air. So more heat can be conducted away from the hot tea, thus allowing the tea to cool down faster. All right. So you see, very important. That's why it's actually many steps for a child to answer higher order thinking questions. Okay, it's a thought process that we need to train them as early as possible. Okay, but congratulations to all the parents who managed to do it. Well done. Okay, so now what if I actually tell all the parenting has a potential, just that he's not given what he needs? And now, right, if we push this further, our child is just receiving the wrong direction and the steps. So everyone, okay, take charge of your child's success. Everything is actually just within our reach. So now, since we know that your child has the potential, finding them the right strategies is very important for them to excel in science. Alright? Because I seriously believe, right, if my student can do it, I trust your child can do it as well. Alright. So now I'm going to have a show. I'm going to do a demo with everyone over here. Okay. I want you all to try this out. Because our lessons are actually online, right? I know many of the parents are actually still quite skeptical towards online class. Okay, because you all think that online your child cannot focus, easily distracted also. Correct now. How many of you actually believe that your child can learn much more better in face-to-face setting? Can you all let me know over here? Okay. Yes, okay, because you all say easily distracted, my friend. Okay, then you cannot see whether your child is doing work or not online, correct? Okay, but I want to show you guys. Imagine, okay, I want you all to tell me what is your child doing at the tuition center. If you send them while you spend hours of transportation to send them over, okay, you are just waiting outside. Can you tell me what is your child doing inside? Would you want to find out what they are doing inside? How many of you want to do that? You want to know what is your child doing? Is she behaving? Is she paying attention? Yes or no? Okay, so now I want to ask you guys, if let's say there is a place for you to see, to watch the lesson, okay, you are going to see whether the lesson is effective or not. Okay, do you think you want that to happen? You can ask the tuition teacher to open the door, let you sit beside your child, and then attend the lesson together. Cannot. Okay, but now because of this, okay, our lessons, I can show it to you. Okay, everything is possible. I'm able to know whether your child is paying attention, whether your child is doing their work, because everything I can see. Okay, everyone go to the class kit. Okay, I give you the link. Email. My colleagues already give you the link. Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, so everyone, can you see my screen now? So whenever everyone right enters the class kit link, okay, I'm able to see all of you right here. Okay, so right now I have all these students. Okay, so yes, very good. Okay, so now you see for those very fast one, right, the students who are doing very fastest pace, right, you see, you can do all the work. I'm able to see all the students, like if let's say the child is not paying attention, he or she is not even online, I'm able to see. Okay, so now when the child is doing, if let's say he is of a faster pace, he will move on. Then once he's done, I will eventually, you see this one? Once the child is done, I will go to his slide and I will do the marking. Okay, so all this raising up hand function is here. Then now for our lesson, we are having like, weekly dictations. They want to make sure they already fully understand their scientific phrases, they know how to use. For those real life application questions, okay, we are going to have this kind as well. So we will do the marking for every one of them. So even if your child is like seriously not doing right, he or she is stuck at this page for like 1 or 2 minutes, this is where I will inform the admin and the admin will eventually inform the parents. Okay, so imagine last time when I teach in school a class of 40 students, right? Do you think it's possible for the teacher to go to every single one of them? It's not possible. Okay, so but for online, it's possible now. Okay, I can eventually mark all my students' work, okay, reading that lesson, and eventually after that, you all can start revising. You see, now Zaida, now Vinu, how come you all still stuck at this slide for so long? Then this is where I will eventually remind the child. If still no response, this is where I will inform the parents reading. Okay, so you all can eventually see. And those slower students of slower pace, you can eventually take your time and do. Okay, then anything not sure or you don't use the wrong word, this is where I will rectify and tell you what is the correct word to use. Okay, I think science is essential for us to have real-time corrective feedback. All right. All right, so let me go back to our slides. So I already show you the solution to our actual classes, right? So this is where I'm trying to show you, okay? Even for face-to-face setting, this is where you cannot see what's going on there. Okay, but for our classes, you are able to see because you can even sit beside your child and play the game with us. Sometimes we will even have competition. The parents are joining in to help the child and then fight against the whole class. So this is how our actual classes are going on. All right. So I already move on to this. So this is what I'm trying to tell everyone. Okay, since your child has the potential, please give them the right strategies and help them to bridge over to the grades they should be getting. All right. Just now I told you guys, right? My student, okay, they are scoring full marks for open-ended and full marks for their prelim PSLE papers. So this is what I'm trying to tell everyone, okay? All this is actually possible so long your child is getting the right strategies. Okay, this child when he joins me is only getting like 50, 60 plus. Then after a few months of drilling on higher order thinking questions and critical thinking, open-ended experiment-based question, this is where eventually he can score very well for his science exam paper. So end up for PSI, he still managed to maintain this grade. Okay, so this is Angus. Hi, what's your name?
Angus.
Hey, hi Angus. Hi Angus, can you share with us some of your concerns before joining the science workshop?
I thought the questions that were given to me would be too hard for me to answer and I would not know how to answer them.
Oh, okay. So after attended the workshop, were your concerns being addressed?
They were addressed and it helped me a lot as it helped me to understand how to answer the questions that I was not very confident in or did not know how to answer.
Oh, so what are the activities conducted during the workshop that you found that benefits you?
Teacher I.R.I.S let us play Kahoot, which helped me to memorize the concepts to answer MCQ questions. And she gave us a booklet of famous PSLE questions to teach us how to answer open-ended questions step by step.
Oh, okay. So far, do you think the content of the workshop helped you in your studies?
I think the content of the workshop helped me in my studies a lot as I do a lot better in my science papers now and I'm quite confident for PSLE.
Okay, thank you, Angus. Alright, so as we gear up for the upcoming PSI examination, I understand some of the parents will tell me things like, hey, teacher, I only left with 1 month, what kind of measure you can do? Seriously, I don't think this 1 month we can do much, okay? This kind of belief, if you're not calling this kind of belief, right, then yes, we cannot change anything for your child, alright? I just want to share an exciting opportunity that I believe will greatly benefit your child's preparation for this coming PSI science. Regular class for the year are already full, so hence we are no longer accepting new enrollment. However, we are still offering a final set of holiday classes during September. This is a crash course that is very popular among the students. And right now we are open to the public, okay, because our tuition classes are already full. So we are having this final run, okay. This crash course is the one to help our PSI students to hone their critical thinking skills in experiment-based and real-life application types of questions. So you have to be mindful. These two we are actually drilling a lot on the experiment based questions and real life application types of questions. So throughout doing this experiment based question and this real life application, we are going through or revising through all the bits, all the scientific phrases that we learned from P3 all the way to P6. Okay, so this course is very important or especially curated for those students who are still not sure how to approach different question types. Okay, because I'm going to go through every question type and what is the template answer. And for those students who are still scoring 0 or even half a mark for their open-ended, if you are having this kind of, if you fall under this category, then this course is the right course for you. If those students who are still hovering around the 70s or 60s, right? Okay, if you really want to have a total game changer for your PSI science, okay, and if you need a refresher course on all the P3 to P6 topics, all the helping word scientific phrases to use, then you should not miss this course. Or even for those high flyers, okay, for those children, if you really think that you're already scoring AL2 or AL3, you want to secure AL1, then you should also not miss this course. This course is the one that will give you all these challenging questions to hone your critical thinking skills. Okay, so it's a 12-hour course. It's going to take place during the Saturdays, 9 to 12. All right. So we are also going to give out all those scientific booklets or scientific phrases, all the scientific phrases to be tested. So for those of you having a P6 child, if you're having those younger brothers or sisters, then you can eventually pass the materials down to them. Okay. But instead of having to pay this amount, okay, today we are going to have a big discount, okay, for only the webinar parents. So you stay put with me first, Now, besides having the crash course, right? Okay, I understand some of the parents do not know how to teach their child science. So I actually specially curated this, right? I'm having a personal coaching with your child. Okay, having a 4-hour session with them, a 2 times 2 hour session. Okay, I'll be doing personal coaching with our child. I'll be covering all these PSI style questions. I'll be teaching them exam strategies. I'm going to refresh all the key concepts. Okay, and also identify the strength and weaknesses for your child. If they have any weaker topic, then I will also specify and I will inform the parents so that you will know which topic to revise with your child. Okay, so but for this personal coaching is only entitled for parents to sign up this crash course. Okay, because I want to give you the entirely refresher course for your child. So besides having this, right, you just need to top up another $88. You can get a how much? 16 hours course with me. All right. So all this will be personalized. Okay. So yes. All this you will be inside your own breakout room. I'll be facing your child alone, and I'll be teaching him or her and to help them with their mistakes. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you guys. Okay, for real-time corrective feedback. That means your child's work will be something like this, where I'll give them real-time corrective feedback. Especially for science, right? If you do not know what went wrong, how can you excel in science, right? Okay, because you see, as I mentioned earlier on, last time I teach in a class of 40, definitely it's not possible for me to do that. But for right now, it's possible. Okay, and for the personal coaching, I'll be alone with your child, so I will eventually they have to do some exam papers first beforehand. Then when they meet me, right, I will do the marking. I will explain to them why is their answering template is wrong. What is wrong in their answer, and what are the ways to minimize reducing their marks. Okay, so for science, this is very critical for them to have real time corrective feedback. And other than that, right, for our crash course, we also be having this kind of activities whereby the students will learn how to spot mistakes for their friends. So y'all can watch this video. So for this, right, all our students are actually drill them, okay? Like example, they go into their own breakout room, right? They have to go and spot out the mistakes of their friends in their friends' work. So now you should be able to see a questions about the distance moved by the objects. When you talk about the distance moved by the object, it should be something to do with the texture. Okay, whether it's rough, whether it's smooth, so that the ball can roll further. But now, okay, this girl at the right bottom, she is there to eventually challenge her friends. Okay, so this is what I have been drilling during my classes as well. They have to, I actually encourage them to challenge and then to speak up if they find that their friends make some mistakes. Because examination, you are the only one on your own. You have to learn how to spot mistakes for yourself. Right?
And material B. Material B is retard and materials AT&T. Agree?
Okay. You can say that material B is the strongest of all them all.
What do you mean strongest?
Material B is
Like, what do you mean strongest?
Because when we talk about strength, right, when we talk about strongest, right, okay, this is where they are testing the ability to withstand the weight. So for this case, we are talking about the distance movement, it's about the texture. So that's why now this girl spotted they made a mistake. Okay, so this is what I will drill your child, okay, to spot their own mistakes as well throughout the crash course.
they have the
I don't
strength.
understand
Wait,
what
this
you
is
mean strongest.
Now I also don't understand.
Because stronger doesn't relate to the ball, the box moving on the floor.
Okay, so this is one of the video clip, okay, which I show. Then other than that, right, okay, I also train my students every time when I teach one topic, right, they also have to reteach the topic to the whole class. Okay, so they have to do some preparation work and then they will present to the whole class. Then from there, I'll ask them questions to make sure they fully understand what I taught earlier on. Okay. To the main group and we'll discuss where are the mistakes they made and then what are those areas they have done well. Okay, so this is what's happening during our weekly lesson. But right now, because our classes are already full, okay, so but for the crash class, we will be having something like this as well. But it's not very time consuming and you will be very concise with all the popular questions. All right. So what if I really tell all the parents over here, your child deserves to score AR1 or AR2? Your child has a potential. So you just need to give them, not giving them the wrong directions and steps. Okay, you give them the right strategies, the right guidance, and should be able to see results. Okay, and prepare them well for their upcoming PSLE. So for those parents who think that it's really a dream for your child to score high marks or full marks in open-ended, okay, you just have to trust us, and we can do it for some children. Definitely, your child we will help them to drill it as well. So this 12-hour course is essential and critical. What happens when everything your child studied with us comes out in the PSI exam? We will not teach them the same question that come out. Apparently, we don't know the question, but we already sorted out all the common questions, popular questions, and all the important, crucial concepts. So your child can learn how to apply them when they go for their PSLE or P5 exam. Okay, so because they're already very familiar with all those real life applications, they are already exposed, they are already comfortable with the scientific language, so they can perform very well for their exams. All right. So just now, I need to mention, only for today's webinar parents, right, you will be receiving this, I think it's a discount code, okay? Hold on. So for all the parents joining us today, right, you will be automatically giving this homework free support for free. I will assist your child all the way to their PSLE. That means any point of time they have any school homework, they have done any assessment book, anything they are not sure, they can eventually throw in to the Telegram. I'll be there to assist them with my colleagues. All right. So if this is the kind of results you want your child to get, okay, please feel free to join us. Don't hesitate anymore, because 1 month, okay, I can drill them on higher order degree questions. I can drill them on the personal coaching. But if you seriously wait further, okay, I don't think I can do anything else to help your child. Okay, so this is the kind of results which I've been helping my students. So for only webinar attendees today, you will be having a $100 off. So you need to key in this coupon code, okay, to enjoy the discount. This one have to be very mindful, because any one of you, once you log out from today's webinar, this code will not be valid anymore. This is only for webinar attendees. You will be only the 12-hour course is only for $300. If you want to top up for the personal coaching, okay, you just need to press the one with the personal coaching. Okay, so this is the QR code. Okay, just now some of you mentioned, right, if you cannot make it to some of the section over here, okay, not to worry, because all sessions will be recorded. Okay, all sessions will be recorded and saved in the library. So all this will be sent to you after the session. Whether you attend or never attend all these sections, you can access them for your child to revise. Okay. Then if any of the case, right, if your child cannot make it to like maybe 3rd September, okay, but you can attend 2nd, 9, and 10, then you can eventually transfer the 3rd September to one of the personal coaching. Okay, then yeah, it's actually kind of flexible this way. Okay. So upon registration, I'll be giving your child the exact booklet on all the scientific phrases and definition to be tested. Okay, then I'll be passing them the step-by-step walkthrough of the top 60 common popular questions from P3 to P6. So for a P5 parent, not to worry, okay, because I even have P3, P4 student joining. Okay, so not to worry, because it's always good for your child to be exposed to these kind of questions as early as possible. Yes, you have permanent access to it. Okay, not to worry, Serena, because right, as mentioned, all these are recorded, and for those crash course that you miss out, right, we will replace it with the personal coaching. Yes, all these will be recorded and sent into the library. So for just now, I know some of the parents are having those younger siblings, right? Okay, so yes, you can sign them up, and then eventually your younger siblings can enjoy this next time when they grow up. Yes, P for GEP. Even I eventually have those like P2 parents getting me to teach their child P3 science or P4 science. Okay, yes, it's going to will help a lot for the GEP as well, because GEP also have all these higher order questions. Right? So you all have any questions? Please feel free to let me know. Yes, correct. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, GP, they test a lot of P6 topics, which I think is really good for them to expose now at P4 level. Okay. So any other questions that you may have for me, then I'm here with you. Okay. Yeah. For today, right? You just need to pay $100 lockdown deposit. Yes. Yes, correct. It's only for to register today, then you have the $100 voucher code. Once you're off the webinar, then the voucher code will not be valid. Yes, so the 12 hours, right? The 12 hours is the group lesson, okay, whereby I'll be covering the critical thinking and also the application-based question, okay? Yeah, it's the full amount. Regular lesson is the $100 deposit, is it? But because the regular tuition is already full, yes. There is no promo code to key. Colleagues, can you help them? Okay, so for those of the parents who registered, right, please feel free to check the library, okay, because I'll be posting up the materials by this week. So your child can take a look. No, this one is the initial price. So you need to key in the promo code to enjoy the no, it's not for it. So you need to type out the promo code $100 off during the checkout. Yes. That's why it's only for the online webinar attendees. Yes, correct. Florence, you're correct. So you'll be make up by one personal coaching. Two sessions. This one, my colleagues can assist you with this. So it can be one or two personal coaching. So you see, VL, so it will be a small group, they are in their own personal breakout room. So the teachers will be going around to help them, to assist them with their work, and to give them like customized lesson. Yes. It will be replaced by personal coaching. No, it's a group of maximum 5. Yes, I'm the trainer for the 12-hour session. But 5, they are all in a different breakout room. So the teachers will be going in, as in the personal coaching. So they will be having the same Zoom link. Actually, it depends on the students who can make it for that session. I will give them the exam papers beforehand, so they have to do on. That means do before they attend the session. Then I'll be marking and going through with them to tell them where's their mistakes and what is the better way to phrase it. And yeah, so I'll be doing the personal coaching. Yes, Adeline. Yes, good. Yeah, I will see you then. So please remember to check through the library. Yes, it's an online paper. Remember the class kit which I showed you guys earlier on? Yeah. So they will be giving the link, then they will do everything on the spot. Then that means they will do before my session. Okay. Then after that, when they come to my session, after they book an appointment with my colleagues, then I will be marking the work on the spot. Okay, so do check the library. Okay, Adeline, I think my colleagues will help you in this. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so for those of the parents who signed up, right, if let's say your child is in PSLE, okay, please feel free to give me more information about your child, okay, whether your child is like having any of the learning difficulties, any of the topics that they need mind map, okay, I can also teach them on this, okay, I can also release some of the mind map for them so that they can revise before they go for their PSLE. Then for those of you, okay, if you think that your child is not good in the scientific phrases, you can get them to study first. Then during the personal coaching, I can test them. So every day there is only a maximum of 6 students. Okay, so please make sure okay you all book early for the personal coaching day. Okay, I cannot accept any number more than that. Because I have to be responsible to all the kids under my care as well. Okay. All right. So all the parents who have already signed up. So please remember. Okay, 2nd September, not to worry. There will be recorded videos, and you can eventually no. Then we'll open up new slots. Yeah. Okay. If the slot all of them are full, then we'll open up new slots. Not to worry. Okay. So Vinuta, not to worry. So you'll be giving the recorded videos. Then you can arrange with my colleagues to see whether you can attend any of the personal coaching. All right. But it's still important for you to watch the recorded videos. Okay. Okay, eventually for the rest of the parents, okay, thank you for spending your 2 hours with me. Okay, I'm really happy to see all of you. Okay, very supportive. Some of you very humorous also. Okay, so I'll be here to answer all your questions. So for those of the parents, have a nice weekend. Okay, goodbye. Enjoy your weekend. Okay, Susale, math camp is it? So not to worry, you can actually arrange with my colleagues. You can arrange with my colleagues to arrange for the personal coaching. Thank you, Vince. Thank you so much. Really, wish you all the best, okay, all the children and all the parents, okay. I know this time is going to be very hard, very tedious, okay. But you will be over soon, okay. Thank you, Jace. Bye bye. Okay, so I'll be still over here. Okay, I'll turn off my video, but I'll still be here. All right. So anyone, okay, I'll be very keen to help you guys, okay, with your child. So please let me know if you have any portfolio that you want me to follow up. Then I can eventually try to help them how to customize their some of the study plan for them as well. Okay, thank you, Florence. I will see you. So any things that you want to share regarding your child, please feel free to send to the or pass it to me. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye.